Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm Stevie Nostalgia, and we have a review for episode 25 of Young Justice Phantoms. Sorry guys, we're running a little behind today, but it's time for our review of the 25th episode of Young Justice Phantoms, Over and Out. Now, this episode did not waste any time and basically kicked off right where we left off. But before we dive into that too deep, make sure you check out our Stay Whelmed merchandise down below and that link to Young Justice Target's pre-order. Remember, we're still trying to get the show renewed, and this is the way to make that happen. Now, like I was saying, the episode opens right where we left off, with the team immobilized and the Zods facing the child they never knew existed. The paranoia in the general in this episode is pretty clear, and it's actually something we see quite a bit from him. Lore is able to convince his mother and father he is truly their son, and they leave Trombus as fast as possible to get them under the yellow sun and begin charging their powers. Lor-Zod boom-tubes his team and his family to the Fortress of Solitude, the House of L's fortress. General Zod brings Connor along, but Lore is clearly very much in a different camp. This contentious back and forth over Connor plays big throughout the episode, and I think it's actually foreshadowing some showdown between Connor and Lor-Zod. Now, once inside the Fortress of Solitude, there's no hesitation. Lore immediately gets his parents into the solar pods, with the full intentions of recharging them to their full Kryptonian possibilities. Before this starts though, General Zod orders Macomb to reopen the boom tube and retrieve the rest of his army. Now, back in the Phantom Zone, Nightwing and the team are monitoring things, and the first tube closes only to have the second tube reopen after Zod and his team reach the fortress. Dick and his team make a stand to prevent Zod's cult of Kryptonians from passing into the tube. This battle rages for quite a bit, and the team does discover at about the midway point how to regain their abilities. Once you're partially inside the boom tube, the team regains their powers, and they are able to leverage these against the unpowered Kryptonians. Now, during this battle, Dick Grayson eventually passes completely through the portal and into the Fortress of Solitude to confront Lor-Zod. But let's be pretty clear, he is absolutely no match for the Kryptonian. He does manage to destroy the solar pods, but in the process is severely injured, and they even speculate he might be killed. That's right, Dick Grayson might be dead. His heartbeat is heard stopping by Lor-Zod. But let's be clear, we've seen this before, and I suspect it was a ruse to waylay more fighting and for Dick to come up with another plan. That's clearly a trick Batman may have taught him in the past and something he could leverage right now. Once Dick destroys the solar pods, Zod and Ursa survive that explosion, and they have been partially charged by the yellow sun energy. Actually, Ursa is quite power drunk. During her rant to her son on why she is done waiting for her power, the Eye of Ekron awakens and chooses her to be his host. This is a major change to the character's classic abilities and completely uppowers her to an absolutely new level that's fairly unrealized in the show. Now, at this point, General Zod realizes that his team has not emerged from the boom tube, and it's likely due to Dick's team on the other side, so he sends in Lor-Zod. At this point, he pins our team in the tube. On one side, Lor-Zod, and the other the Kryptonians, with just rockets bubble there to protect the team. Now, boom tubes are not meant to be open indefinitely, and the tube starts to finally collapse. At this point, Dick and his team escape back to the bus, with Rocket holding back the Kryptonians as the team exits. But once they are fully evacuated on the bus, there is no sign of Rocket. This makes me wonder if we actually lost Rocket in this battle, but if I'm guessing, I don't think so. I actually think more than likely she was pushed through the tunnel into the Fortress of Solitude, and she'll likely team up with Dick Grayson once he awakens from his ruse. But we'll have to wait and see. Now, the team left behind on Trombus does spring quickly into action while all this is going down. Once everyone is free of the Kaiser Thrall, Kid Flash recovers Bioship and the team starts their journey back to Earth. Luckily, they have Green Lantern Forager with them, allowing them to make great time through subspace. Now, the team figures out very quickly he's in the fortress, and although the fortress's Kryptonian defenses do not detect Bioship, Ursa with the new Emerald Eye of Ekron does, and actually shoots down Bioship. I'm actually wondering if she killed Bioship. The wreckage was pretty rough and it's never clarified, and it would be pretty sad to lose the character at this point. Now, Superman is obviously the first one to recover from this accident, and Zod confronts him immediately. He makes it pretty clear he's a fellow Kryptonian, and if he's willing to kneel before Zod, he'll let him live. But obviously Superman doesn't go for that. Zod quickly uses the kryptonite to defeat Kal, rendering him near death from kryptonite poisoning. This scene also has another one of those moments with Lord Zod not trusting Connor. Connor's mind is pretty shattered, and he believes Superman is already dead, suggesting to him he cannot be trusted, but the General once again asserts his authority and demands that Laura comply. I really do believe this is going to be one of those I told you so moments, but we'll have to wait and see. At this point, Zod decides it's time to send a message to the world, and has Macomb open a boom tube to Metropolis, where he plans on announcing his ascension to power on Earth. Once him and his team arrive, they begin to demolish the streets of Metropolis, and they put Connor on full display as a member of the House of Zod. The General has the intention of having Connor murder Superman for the world to see, to demoralize them and to show his loyalty to the House of Zod. Now Connor's mind battles him, and it appears he is indeed returned to his original status as a weapon for... Now Connor's mind is in turmoil, and it appears he's returned to that original status as a weapon, the way Cadmus designed him, but in the service of Zod. The episode leaves us with Connor on the edge, and we are really wondering what choice he will make, and will he indeed kill his brother, Superman? The finale is completely set up for something pretty special, and I do wonder where all this is going. Multiple Kryptonians on Earth are obviously very dangerous, but I think the upside is most of Zod's followers are still stuck in the Phantom Zone. What happens from here is unclear. We only have one more week to wait for the finale, but there have been some leaks online that we might be talking about, and I think there's going to be a conversion of forces on multiple fronts to confront General Zod in a rather unexpected way. I thought this episode was pretty darn good. The last 2 or 3 weeks have run really fast, with each episode coming in at about 20 minutes, but while you're watching it, it feels like 5. The pacing has been great, the action pretty high stakes, and quite honestly, they have been full of surprises. I'm going to give this week's episode an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this season, and I hope you're liking it as much as me. Now, this is the time I wanted to remind everybody to make sure you use those hashtags. Renew Young Justice Season 5, and Save Earth 16 are the way we are going to get a 5th season of the show. This season has been pretty fun, and we got to make this happen as fans, so let's get to work. So, what did you guys think of this week's episode of Young Justice Phantoms? Do you think Dick Grayson is dead? Did Rocket make it out of the tube? And what will Connor decide? Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you're not getting any updates. Peace.